inspire.
Welcome back to the Kidney Stone Diet Podcast, the show about reducing your kidney stone risk and living your best life. I'm your host and fellow student, Jeff Saris.
And I'm Jill Harris, your kidney stone prevention nurse. Hey,
I always like when we get a little sneak peek of the glasses. I like how you look at them. They're good.
Well, I'm going to wear them.
Uh-huh.
I'm very excited because I always got the readers like at Walgreens or whatever, but they never worked for me. I'm like, what's wrong with me? So I went to the eye doctor and he's like, you have astigmatism, so you have to get prescription ones for $5,000. Oh, okay. They're not $5,000, but they're more than the $19 at Walgreens.
Yeah.
But Jeff, I'm so happy with them because I can see my words. So I'm just like, I'm happy to have them. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And we don't even know. Again, it's like checking in with our baseline. Like your baseline was a certain thing. You didn't know there was a way to resolve it with a little more money, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's like it improves your life. So it's worth it.
Jeff, my answer is always like, well, I guess I'm old now. So this is what it is. It's always a fix. There's always a fix. That's what I have learned in my old age. There's always a solution.
Yeah. But so should we dive into this week's voicemail?
Yeah.
So this is from Mary. I zoomed forward a little just because she left her number. And yeah, when you guys call in, we love getting your name, where you're from. You don't have to leave your number or anything just because, we don't want to put you on blast ever. But yeah, we really appreciate everyone who's been calling in. So we'll get right to Mary's question.
And I have a dietitian I've been seeing, and she told me a few months back that nobody should drink milk, that milk in general is really bad for the stomach, and especially people that have a very sensitive stomach like me. And so I quit drinking milk, and I'm trying to make it myself with all these different milk products that are out there. And of course, we can't drink the almond and some of the other things. So I'm racking my brain trying to figure out how to do this so that I can get enough calcium in the milk, because I was drinking milk regularly. What do you say about that, about people that have a sensitive stomach not drinking milk at all? Thank you.
Oh, Mare. I think it's a great question. So Mary says that her dietitian told her that nobody should be drinking milk. Okay, so I don't agree with that. I don't think that nobody should be drinking milk, first of all. I do not think that. The end. But for Mary, listen, if you can tolerate, there's no good research that says milk's going to give you anything. Okay. So again, if you can tolerate milk and you enjoy it, please get your calcium from milk. I am not a believer of that. But for Mary, she says that it bothers her stomach. She should absolutely not drink milk. Absolutely not. And I do have a lot of patients that come to me and say, I'm trying to drink the milk, Jill, but I have a casein allergy, which is a protein found in milk. I'm lactose intolerant. I'm like, oh my God, do not drink milk. That's terrible for you. Meaning, if you don't feel good drinking it, and Mary is one of those people that it bothers her stomach. So Mary, there's great research, and we have the latest research at kidneystonediet.com that a bunch of great nephrologists did on oxalate and nut milks. And yes, almond milk was high, so we advise not to be drinking almond milk or cashew milk. But there's other milks that you can have that you do not have to be, putting all those nuts in a sack and squeezing all the milk out of it, so you make it at home. There's unsweetened coconut milk. These are all things found in your milk section, but it will be under the substitute milks. Okay. So where you would find almond milk, you can also find these milk substitutes, unsweetened coconut milk. I like that. And I use a brand called Silk. I like it only because I also drink regular milk, lactose-free milk. I drink that as well. But I look at my milk a few different ways. If I'm watching calories, if I've had enough calories that day, I will drink my Silk milk for the calcium because it's only 30 calories a cup, as opposed if I'm having but it has no protein in it. So if I have a day where I'm like cool on calories, but I'm looking to up my protein, for my fitness goals, then I'm going to drink regular milk. You may say that's all too much for me, sissy. I'm just telling you what I do. You do not have to do that. But I'm just saying each of these milks that I'm going to list definitely are lower oxalate, but some of them may not have protein in it. Some of them may be higher in calcium. All of them, I suggest you do lower sugar. So you could use pea milk. You could do flax milk. You could do macadamia milk. You could do the coconut milk, oat milk. And is there, you see that study, Jeff? Are you looking at it? Is there anything on there that I'm not saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, let me just scroll down here. But yeah, I think you covered most. There's enriched rice milk is on there. Yeah, coconut flax, dairy, macadamia, oat, hemp, soy, hazelnut, cashew, and almond are all what's on this list, and gives the stats, the data around what's where they fall on the spectrum. But you can look at that and see, because obviously almond is at the very top and not advised, but then coconut is the very bottom, and dramatically different in terms of what you can expect. Yes.
And with these nut milks too, I have, they have a supplement added to them. And so we know if we take calcium supplement pills, that has shown that it can increase your stone risk. So we advise not taking pills. Now, calcium supplements in pill form. Now, bariatric patients they will be on calcium supplements, and they will be, their doctors will tell them, because they have malabsorption issues. So that doesn't go for everybody. Bariatric patients must take calcium supplements. In most cases, their doctor will put them on them. Now, when we're taking the nut milks too, I mean, we really should be taking those with meals because it is supplemented, right? I wouldn't just say drink your coconut milk like straight out of the container without having food to help absorb that supplement as well. I think it's easier absorbed by those milks, so I don't have an issue with it. I have probably most of my patients are on nut milks, not almond, but the non-dairy milks for their calcium, and they all keep their stone risk at bay. So I have no problem with them. Sometimes I use pea milk, sometimes I use coconut milk, and then I use lactose-free regular milk, like I said, depending on my protein needs. So Mary, don't drive yourself nuts. You can definitely have the milk substitutes that are available in your grocer's refrigerated section. Go to kidneystonediet.com so you can see the study and the oxalate level for the various nut milks, and oatmeal and flax. It's not just nut milks. It's all kinds of different alternative milks. Also, for people who are going on vacation, as people will say, Jill, I'm going on vacation. What am I supposed to carry a cooler with me? They also have those types of milks in the shelf section. You could just they're just sitting there. They don't have to be refrigerated. So look at alternative milks on the shelves inside your grocery store too. They do not have to be refrigerated. And a lot of my patients take those with them on vacation. Okay. So it's an excellent question. You do not have to be making your own milk. You do not have to drink regular milk. You do not. You can also drink Tropicana 50/50. I specifically talk about that brand of orange juice because it will have less sugar and it's a good calcium source in there. But for people who do not tolerate milk, do not use it. There are other sources available for you to still get your calcium. But if you can tolerate milk, I am not a believer at all that milk is, again, vilified. You can absolutely have milk. I know vegans will say, well, we don't drink any baby, and who's drinking, we're the only species that are drinking milk after we're 5 years old or whatever. Listen, people, you can drink milk. Everyone is entitled to their beliefs, but I don't like this all fits one solution. I'm not a fan of it. I think it confuses people. If you can tolerate dairy, doesn't bother you, and there's no medical professional saying it's not right for you. I don't think a blanket statement that, nobody should drink milk. I don't agree with that. That's my thought. You can definitely bang me up in the comments about it, but I don't believe that at all. Many of my patients love milk, enjoy it, causes them no issues at all. And it's a great natural calcium source.
Yeah, which
so that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there just to reiterate that naturally the calcium isn't coming from most of the nuts and everything that you're creating the milks from. So if you are making it at home, you're actually not replacing the calcium, because the calcium was, as you said, added to the milk, or it's added to the vitamin, to the orange juice and things like that. So it is really important. Like, we can again think like, oh, I can replace it with oat milk. Like, that'll be an amazing way to replace it. I'll make it at home. I know exactly what's in it. But then suddenly we don't know what we don't know, that oat milk doesn't have the calcium that a store-bought oat milk has, because it was not added to it when we made it ourselves. So I think just to reiterate that, just so there's no confusion there.
Thank you.
I think it's important to recognize, because we're all trying to take the steps that are best for us, best for the planet, best for our perspective on whatever it is. If it is, again, like we're not going to consume animal products, that's definitely a path you can take. But we just need to know that, okay, if it's calcium, let's make sure we're actually getting the calcium and not making the assumptions that we are.
Yes, and thank you for chiming in with that one. But again, I do want to say, our whole platform is about, you need to do the lifestyle that works for you. But I also believe that we shouldn't be dogmatic about it, because then it's confusing other people that are able to have other products or want them or whatever. So there can sometimes be an elitist mindset, like my lifestyle is better than your lifestyle. And when people are trying to eat healthier, there's a huge learning curve. And that's people's opinions, and that may not work for the person you're talking to, right? So, I just want everyone to be comfortable and enjoy the food they eat. A lot of doctors will say, you formed a stone, you must turn vegan now. And that's just unnecessary. You do not. Most of my patients, so many of my patients are vegans and vegetarians, and they have stones. So again, we have to be careful about the advice we give people, because everybody is so very different. And so, Mary cannot drink milk, but maybe Sammy can and really enjoys it. And now Sammy is being told they should never have milk again. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I know we don't normally do specific recommendations, but you did mention the 50/50 and Silk. How do you feel about, in the description, put in just a few of the products that you feel positive?
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll just link to them in the description, just the Tropicana 50/50, the Silk Coconut.
Yeah, the Trop 50/50, these are products I've used. I never suggest anything I don't use. So my patients use the Trop 50/50. I have used the Silk unsweetened coconut milk. I have used the Good Karma flax milk unsweetened, and I have used the Ripple unsweetened pea milk, because the pea milk will have some protein in it too. So those are the ones I use, but we can list all the ones in that study too if you'd like. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to make it as easy as possible. But yeah, those links will be
people can look
below.
Yeah, even if they look, some people are like, Jill, take a picture of your phone and send it. They want to see what the image looks like, so they find it faster at the grocery store. So even if you put a link there, then they could see the image and they'll be able to see it a lot quicker.
Yeah, for
sure.
But yeah, that was a great question. I think a really valuable one. And if you're out there and you have a question, the number is 773-789-8763, and we will feature you on a future episode. But yeah, you can find all the resources, everything we talk about, the free email newsletter, the premium stuff, the course and the meal plans, or just the little handout for having a better doctor's visit and things like that, all at kidneystonediet.com. And
that snack book.
Yes, we haven't talked about that in a little bit.
So there's a snack book with 30 kidney stone safe recipes for snacks, thin, low oxalate protein bars, people. We're giving it away with the meal plan service, or you can get the snack koozie just by itself for $9.95. It's ridiculous. 30 recipes. It's a downloadable ebook. All the protein, all the salt, sugar, all oxalates, all figured out for you. Tasty desserts, most of them all under 200 calories, because I like lower calorie snacks. And it's a great resource for people who are like, well, I got no snacks anymore. What? So, and again, the low oxalate protein bar, that thing took me months to figure that out. And so I'm really proud of that one. There's some really good cool recipes in there that you can feel safe eating, but also enjoy eating. So you got to like what you're eating. So 30 recipes for the snack book, and you can get it free if you join the meal plan. And if you don't want the meal plan, you can just get the snack book by itself for $10. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Mayor.